That Conservative Party does not stand for the people at the receiving end of their policies. Despite all their promises, that is exactly what this Queen's speech shows. Mr. Speaker, the central aim of my party, the Labour Party, is to stand up for working people, for every part of this country, for the many, not the few, to deliver social justice, prosperity and a society that works for all. As this government ploughs ahead with its programme of gimmicks and false promises, we will be holding them to account every step of the way and campaigning inside and outside Parliament and across this country for the real change that this government sadly will not deliver, but that our country so desperately needs.
I now call the Prime Minister.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. This is the moment to repay the trust of those who sent us here by delivering on the people's priorities with the most radical Queen's speech for a generation. And if there was one resounding lesson of this election campaign, one message I heard in every corner of these islands, it's not just that the British people want their government to get Brexit done, though they do. They want to move politics on and move the country on. Building hospitals, renewing our schools, modernising our infrastructure, making our streets safer, our environment cleaner, our union stronger. And this Queen's speech of this people's government sets in motion a vast interlocking programme to unite and level up across the whole United Kingdom and unleash the potential of all our people. This one-nation government will enshrine in law record funding for our NHS, take back control of our borders with a wholly new immigration system, toughen our criminal justice system with longer sentences for the most dangerous offenders, double investment in basic science research, and protect our environment with a bill so ambitious and so vast that there is no environmentally friendly way of printing it off. And, Mr. Speaker, this is not a programme for 1 year or one Parliament. It is a blueprint for the future of Britain. Just imagine where this country could be in 10 years' time. Trade deals across the world, creating jobs across the UK. 40 new hospitals, great schools in every community, and the biggest transformation of our infrastructure since the Victorian age. British scientists using new gene therapies to cure the incurable, the hitherto incurable, and leading the dawn of a new age of electric vehicles, not just cars, but planes, pioneering solutions to the challenge of climate change. And I do not think it vainglorious or implausible to say that a new golden age for this United Kingdom is now within reach. And in spite of the scoffing, in spite of the negativity, in spite of the scepticism that you will hear from the other side, we will work flat out to deliver it. Mr. Speaker, Her Majesty's gracious speech was expertly proposed by a beacon of our one-nation conservatism, my honourable friend, the member for Chatham and Aylesford, who is not only a football coach of great distinction, who has done much to champion the female game, which will be a key part of this country's bid for the 2030 World Cup. But she is so personally skilled at the game, with what has been described by her adversaries as a take no prisoners style, that according to the Daily Telegraph, and if you can't believe the Daily Telegraph, Mr. Speaker, what can you believe? She was once barred from playing against men to protect their egos, and has even used this dispatch box. For an impromptu game of kicking up. He uses this dispatch box as a goalmouth, Mr. Speaker, in what was probably one of the less shocking innovations tolerated by the previous Speaker. My honourable friend, my honourable friend has also done pioneering work on tackling loneliness, improving dementia care and curbing the harms, as we've heard, inflicted by gambling and alcohol, and is so dedicated to her job that she's regularly brought her son Freddie into the lobbies, so reducing the voting age to about 6 months. And Chatham's great parliamentary sketch writer, Charles Dickens himself, would confirm that her speech was in the very finest traditions of this House. She was followed with great style by my honourable friend, the member for Walsall North, when he addressed this House for the first time in 2017. He said, and I quote, "The good people of Walsall North have had to wait 41 years to hear a maiden speech from their MP. You can imagine how disappointed they will be." Well, my honourable friend was being characteristically modest, but I cannot help noticing how the good people of Walsall North have taken drastic steps to avoid another maiden speech. They not only re-elected my honourable friend, but they've quintupled his majority just to be sure. Mr. Speaker, as the honourable member, gentleman, right honourable member of this has pointed out, you wait years for a Queen's speech, and then along come two in short order, something my honourable friend will appreciate as one of the growing number of bus drivers' children on Conservative benches. He was elected as a. I know you want to ask about. I know the honourable gentleman wants to ask about buses, but I must make reference. He was elected as a blue-collar Conservative from a traditionally Labour seat, a path that many have just followed. And since then, as he pointed out quite rightly, he has secured funding for a new A&E department at his local hospital, a new railway station for Willenhall. I know he comes from a Labour family. In fact, I think his brother is a Labour councillor. And when he first declared himself a Conservative, he felt, he said, like the black sheep of the family. All I can say is I bet if they're watching today, they will feel nothing but pride in my honourable brilliant speech. Mr. Speaker, let me also welcome to his place. Let me welcome to his place, right honourable gentleman, the leader of the opposition, a stickler, as we all know, for watching a Queen's speech at the right time. Though I don't know what he has against coronation chicken, Mr. Speaker. As our exchanges across these dispatch boxes come towards a close, alas, let me say that our personal relations have always been excellent, and as for all our disagreements, I have never doubted that the right honourable gentleman's beliefs are deeply held, and his sincerity is to be admired. Certain members of his shadow cabinet, on the other hand, are absolutely clear where the responsibility of the election result lies. The voters of the country have let their side down, let his side down. They have forfeited the confidence of the opposition, and the time has come for Labour to take the only possible step: dissolve the electorate and replace it with a new one. At least I think that's what the lady for Islington and Finsbury said. For my own part, Mr. Speaker, I feel a colossal sense of obligation to the electorate that I and we are humbled to serve, and to those people who lent us their votes, however hesitantly. This government will now engage flat out on a programme of change for the better. Tomorrow is the day when we finally peel back the plastic wrapping about which you have heard so much, Mr. Speaker, and present our oven-ready deal, and it will go into the microwave as the withdrawal agreement. It works in both devices.